If you're planning a trip to Sardinia and all you've got on your list is beaches, you're about to miss the soul of this island. Because scattered across the hills, the valleys, and even in the middle of farmers' fields, there are over 7,000 ancient stone towers. They're called Nuraghe, and most visitors drive right past them without a second thought. Here's why that's a mistake. These aren't crumbling piles of rock. They're the remains of a civilization that was building complex stone towers while most of Europe was still living in huts. We're talking Bronze Age, over 3,500 years ago. Some people call them the Stonehenge of the Mediterranean, but honestly, they're older, more complex, and there are thousands of them. This video is your no-fluff guide to the Nuraghe, what they actually are, and how to visit them without making the classic tourist mistakes. Let's get into it. So, the Nuraghe were built by the Nuragic Civilization, a culture that existed on Sardinia from roughly 1800 BC all the way into the Roman period. That's over 1,000 years. To put that in perspective, when these towers were going up, the ancient Greeks hadn't even started building the Parthenon yet. Now here's what makes them fascinating. These people left no written records. None. Everything we know about them comes from digging things up and piecing it together. And after decades of research, archaeologists still can't fully agree on what the Nuraghe were actually for. Were they fortresses? Temples? Meeting places? Probably a combination. The honest answer is, we don't know for sure. And that mystery is part of what makes visiting them so compelling. You're not just looking at old stones. You're standing inside a question that nobody has answered in 3,500 years. What we do know is this: the Nuragic people were skilled. We're talking dry stone construction, no mortar, no cement, just perfectly cut basalt blocks stacked with precision. Some of these towers originally stood over 20 meters tall, with internal staircases, corbelled ceilings, and multiple floors. These weren't primitive people. They were trading bronze across the Mediterranean with the Mycenaeans and the Phoenicians, while building structures that have outlasted most things humans have ever made. And with over 7,000 still standing, some estimates say up to 30,000 were originally built. The Nuraghe aren't some hidden curiosity. They are Sardinia. You just need to know where to look. And this is where I'll remind you of something we say a lot on this channel. Sardinia is not a theme park. It's someone's home. These sites have survived for thousands of years. Don't climb walls that aren't meant to be climbed. Don't take stones as souvenirs, not even small ones. Stay on marked paths. And if there's a rope or a barrier, it's there for a reason. The Nuraghe are irreplaceable. Treat them that way, and you'll be welcome here. Look, Sardinia's beaches are stunning. No one's arguing that. But once you step inside a Nuraghe, once you put your hand on a stone that someone cut and placed 3,500 years ago in a civilization that vanished without leaving a single written word, your whole perspective on this island changes. It's not just a beach destination. It's one of the most archaeologically rich places in Europe. And most people never find that out. If you've visited a Nuraghe, tell me in the comments, which one blew your mind? Drop it below. If this was helpful, subscribe for more no-fluff guides to the real Sardinia. I'll see you in the next one.